What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. So a couple of days ago I put out a poll on the channel asking you guys whether or not you wanted me to do some lore stuff. It's something that I've been wanting to get into for a while here on the channel, so I figured I might as well just do it. And so why not start with SIVA, and why I think SIVA, or at least the modified version of SIVA, could potentially be used in next season's story. Let's talk about it. SIVA, the nanotechnology that was developed by Clovis Bray originally, was thought to be a long dead part of the universe of Destiny, or at least until we got the 0-hour mission, in which we find out there is still some small clusters of SIVA housed within the old tower, along with Outbreak Perfected. Up until that point, SIVA has only been mentioned a few times throughout the couple of seasons that followed, and we didn't really get to see another version of SIVA until we got to Lightfall. This is where we're introduced to people like the Cloud Striders and Neomuna, which Neomuna started out as an Exodus colony that originally had SIVA with them and even helped them build shelters for the early Neomuni. So you might be asking right now, do the Cloud Striders use SIVA, and did the Neomuni citizens even use SIVA? And the answer is yeah, kinda, or at least a modified version of it. We find out a lot through the Veil containment lore that a bunch of people never even knew about for the first couple of weeks that it was out. However, this makes sense for the Cloud Striders at least, seeing as though the original function for SIVA was to help with the development of colonization in deep space, and not only that, it also was used for the purpose of making stronger colonizers, as it can enhance the biological organisms that come into contact with it. However, the reason why the Cloud Striders don't exactly share that red iconic color that's typically associated with SIVA is because the silver is kind of the modified version of the original SIVA, and it was modified with Vex components, which is why Cloud Striders are able to enter the Vex network without the aid of a splicer. Nimbus even seems to think that he's part Vex due to this knowledge.
SIVA is a nanotech fabrication system, intended to be used by Exodus ships to rapidly build necessary resources from base matter. Maya calls it Willa Bray's obsession, without a hint of self-awareness. But we both see the potential it poses for the future. Each nanomachine in SIVA's design is an independent, thinking machine, utilizing a distributed quantum network to coordinate movement. Like a mechanical version of Radiolaria. Probably where the design was inspired from, if I'm being honest. But the design can be pushed. We're looking at ways of incorporating components from disabled Vex and erased exomines. If we can insulate the nanomachines from the radiation that killed the exos, maybe their deaths won't be for nothing.
Wait, does this really mean I'm part Vex?
Well, it's too early to jump to these conclusions, Nimbus. But there does seem to be some connection between the Vex and the Cloud Striders. It may explain why you and the others are able to enter the Vex network without the aid of splicers.
With that being said, in the Quicksilver Storm lore, an Exo seems to think that the silver coming off of the weapon is somewhat even related to SIVA itself, which, I mean, she's technically correct. This is what her quote says. So someone out there with a weapon I've never seen before, don't understand, and don't know how to defend against. The closest thing we've seen to this is SIVA, and these bugs are so far beyond that. So knowing what we do about the SIVA, or the modified version of which that exists in the Cloud Striders, as well as our Quicksilver Storm, and the Outbreak Perfected that we have, how would this even play into Season 23? Well, if you guys remember from a while ago, and I don't blame you if you do, like I said before, it was a while ago that I even covered this, but there was a leak that included information about Season 23, and essentially this next season was supposed to be a mass preparation of sorts to take on the Witness in the final shape. So when I remembered this, I automatically thought that if it's possible, maybe we could even use SIVA ourselves to aid us in our fight against the Witness. But then the problem seemed to be, how would we get our hands on this modified version of SIVA? Well, we also know that the Cloud Striders have a core that, when they retire, gets placed within the Hall of Cloud Striders as a memorial. So I'm not exactly advocating for the desecration of the grave of certain Cloud Striders, maybe Rohan, I don't know. But maybe there's someone willing to help us use this advanced version of SIVA in order to get what we need and help us defeat the Witness. And now, I'm not exactly saying that this modified version of SIVA is going to be the end-all be-all and we need it absolutely to defeat the Witness, but it would definitely play a huge role if we could get our hands on it in the preparation that's definitely needed to go ahead and take on this villain. Maybe this could even lead to new weapons next season if, everything plays out the way I just said, which in all honesty, it probably won't. But it's still a thought nonetheless. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want more content similar to this, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you in the next one, and let me know what other topics you guys want me to tackle in the Destiny verse, and I'd be happy to cover it. I'll see you in the next one. Sub up, stay safe, and peace.